In every ancient culture, the sky was a place of both beauty and terror. To the people of ancient America, lightning was not merely weather, it was the hand of gods, the weapon of spirits, and in some stories, a force that could be captured and controlled. Myths and oral traditions speak of people who could call storms, who could summon rain with chants, dances, and offerings, and even more strangely, those who could hold lightning in their hands. Archaeologists dismiss some of these accounts as poetic metaphor, but scattered evidence, from charred hilltop shrines to strange copper and quartz artifacts, hints that the line between magic and technology may not have been as clear as we imagine. Today, we explore the lightning harvesters and storm callers of ancient America, the sky priests, weather workers, and possible proto-engineers who may have learned how to tap into the raw energy of the heavens. Long before European contact, lightning was woven into the mythic fabric of many Native American cultures. In the Great Plains, the Lakota spoke of Wakinyang, the thunderbird, whose wings produced thunderclaps and whose eyes flashed lightning. In the Pacific Northwest, the Kwakwakawaku and other coastal peoples spoke of thunderbirds as powerful beings that hunted whales with bolts of fire from the sky. The Mississippian cultures depicted the Birdman figure, a half-human, half-avian entity often associated with storms, warfare, and fertility. In many traditions, lightning was not just an atmospheric event, but a divine weapon, a tool to punish enemies, cleanse corruption, or signal cosmic change. The concept of lightning as a weapon meant that certain individuals, often priests or shamans, were believed to have relationships with these storm deities, acting as intermediaries between the mortal world and the realm of thunder. In warfare, lightning was invoked as a blessing. Warriors would carry symbols of storm beings on their shields, headdresses, and war clubs, calling for the gods to strike their enemies. In agricultural rites, lightning was welcomed as a bringer of rain, essential for maize, beans, and squash to grow. But in these stories, there's an undercurrent of something more than myth, of humans not only honoring lightning, but attempting to draw it closer. From the deserts of the Southwest to the high mounds of the Mississippi Valley, archaeologists have discovered ceremonial sites located on high ridges and hilltops, locations more prone to being struck by lightning. Some of these sites contain what are sometimes called lightning stones, pieces of fulgurite, glassy tubes of sand fused by the intense heat of a lightning strike. In certain tribes, these were considered powerful talismans, capable of healing, warding off evil, or channeling spiritual energy. Pueblo traditions tell of rain priests who would climb to these hilltop shrines carrying copper bells and staffs tipped with quartz or mica, materials known today to conduct or reflect electrical energy. The positioning of these shrines has made some researchers wonder, were they placed to intentionally draw lightning during rituals? In the Andean highlands, far to the south, but linked to North American trade routes, there are records of temples of the thunder god, constructed with pointed stone spires, possibly designed to attract storms. If such architecture was deliberately sited for electrical phenomena, these could have been the earliest attempts at lightning harvesting, a symbolic or practical way of calling the sky down to earth. Ancient American metallurgy often focused on ornamental use rather than tools, but copper artifacts appear again and again in contexts related to storms. In the Great Lakes region, native peoples mined pure copper thousands of years before European contact, trading it far across the continent. Some of these copper pieces, shaped into rods, spirals, or thin sheets, have been found in burial mounds alongside quartz crystals. a combination that in modern science suggests both conductive and piezoelectric properties. Quartz, when struck or compressed, can produce an electrical charge, and in folklore it was said to hold the fire of the sky. Could these materials have been combined in rituals to channel or store lightning? The answer is unknown, but some oral histories speak of medicine men holding fire stones during thunderstorms, waiting for the strike to empower their tools. If such events occurred, they may have been dangerous displays of religious devotion, or, in a more speculative view, deliberate experiments with the natural electricity of storms. Across ancient America, there were individuals believed to control or influence the weather. Among the Zuni and Hopi, Katsina spirits connected to rain and thunder were invoked through elaborate dances and offerings. In the Caribbean and Mesoamerica, storm deities like Huracan and Chark were central to agricultural cycles, with priests conducting ceremonies to call rain during drought. Some traditions spoke of storm callers, who could summon clouds by whistling, drumming, or using bull roarers, flatboards spun on strings, producing a sound eerily like distant thunder. In some Great Basin legends, a storm caller could lure lightning to a specific spot to strike an enemy camp or sacred tree. The overlap between religious ritual and possible environmental manipulation is fascinating. Modern meteorology tells us that sound, smoke, and particulate matter can influence atmospheric conditions. Could these rituals have, intentionally or not, increased the chance of rain or static discharge? Whether by coincidence or design, storm callers gained reputations as people to be both revered and feared. One of the most controversial ideas in studying ancient weather rituals is the possibility that some people tried to capture lightning. In the Andes, legends tell of lightning drinkers who held metal staffs during storms, surviving strikes that left them with strange scars and, according to stories, special powers. In parts of the American Southeast, Choctaw oral history mentions thunder rods placed atop high trees, later retrieved after a storm, their tips blackened and fused. These rods, often made of copper, were kept as sacred relics. While it's possible these artifacts were simply struck by chance, the fact that they were deliberately placed in storm-prone positions hints at intent. If any group truly tried to harvest lightning's energy, they would have been engaging in one of the most dangerous experiments imaginable: a fusion of devotion, bravado, and a desire to harness the rawest force in nature. It's tempting to see all these stories as symbolic: thunderbirds as metaphors for the violence of nature, lightning stones as magical curiosities. But history is full of cultures remembering ancient technologies in mythic form. Polynesian legends of sky ropes turned out to be memories of navigational star lines. Greek stories of Hephaestus and Vulcan may echo early metallurgy. Could the lightning harvesters and storm callers represent a similar blend? Myth preserving the memory of experiments with natural electricity. Consider that many Native American myths portray lightning not as random, but as purposeful: a gift, a weapon, or a warning. The tools, shrines, and materials we've found may not prove intentional electrical engineering, but they suggest a familiarity with patterns in storms, an understanding of high places, conductive materials, and timing. The boundary between superstition and science in the ancient world may have been far thinner than we assume. Today, we use lightning rods, power lines, and capacitors to safely channel and store electrical energy. In a way, we are the inheritors of the same desire that might have driven ancient storm callers to pull power from the sky. Some native traditions still honor storm spirits in dances and songs, keeping alive the respect for forces beyond human control. The archaeological record may never confirm whether anyone in pre-Columbian America successfully harvested lightning in a technological sense, but the cultural record is clear. People sought it, revered it, and in some cases claimed to wield it. Perhaps this is why the myths of lightning beings and storm summoners are so enduring. They speak to our eternal wish to bridge the gap between ourselves and the untamed sky. The story of lightning harvesters and storm callers blurs the line between natural science and the supernatural. It invites us to ask uncomfortable questions about what ancient people knew and what they may have dared to try. Were they mystics, fools, or visionaries far ahead of their time? The truth may be scattered like sparks in a storm, glimpsed only when the sky splits open and the earth remembers the fire of the heavens. This has been Untold Secrets of Ancient America. Until next time, keep your eyes on the horizon. And when the storm comes, remember that somewhere in the past, someone may have been calling it on purpose.